One of the best feelings in the world is literally understanding that you don't owe anyone an explanation because it's your life.
Come on, baby, get up. Come on, baby. Come on, baby, get up. Come on, baby. Come on, baby, get up.
Being able to literally just think, who cares, has literally changed my life. And just because I'm able to say who cares more often, it doesn't necessarily mean that I'm careless. It just means that I'm pretty much free from unnecessary judgment. For example, let me give you guys an example. And this is something that used to happen to me a lot until I understood that other people's perceptions of me is not going to change my life. And two, it's really just my brain overthinking, be like, what if they think that? What if they think that? Because I think I talked about this in one of my other videos about how people pleasing ruins your life. I talked about how we are able to see ourselves through other people's eyes, and that is a construct. The way we see ourselves, the way we think about ourselves, sometimes we think, oh, they're gonna think that, oh, what if people think that? But it's really just us. And so once I understood that, it really changed my life. Now going back to the example, I'm gonna post a picture that I think, for example, my thighs look weird, or it just makes me uncomfortable, right? I'm like, what if they think that I gained weight, for example? What if they think that? And then I kind of just go deeper into my thought, and I'm like, what if they think that? Like, what's wrong with that? Like, I know that, like, it's just the angle of the picture. I know that, you know, it's just like the pose or whatever, so who cares? Like, how is that gonna change my life? Like, if they think I gained weight, which is not a bad thing, that I also talked about in this channel, but what if they think that? Like, literally, who cares? How is that gonna change my life? How is that gonna affect my life? You know what I mean?
No.
Another thing is protect your privacy. Not always explain yourself. It gives you the power of literally just having your privacy, not always having to explain to other people. Like, it's your life. Like, just own it. Just own it and literally have control over your own story, over your own life. Also, boundaries.
No, please! No!
Oh my god, I feel like I talk about boundaries too much, but it's because setting boundaries really changes your life. Like, always having to explain yourself kind of allows people to always give opinions when you don't ask. It welcomes so many opinions, and it's like, I know, like, I don't remember asking you that. Like, you allowing people to always tell you what to do, always tell you what they think, is gonna drive you crazy. So, like, please set boundaries and understand, really understand that it's your life. It's your story, okay? You don't need opinions from a lot of people all the time. Trust your own instinct, trust your gut feeling, trust your own opinions, trust your beliefs. And another thing is respect. If you set boundaries and you're like, yeah, I know what I'm doing with my life, it also makes people respect your decisions more, not opinions, your decisions more. Because again, this is your life, this is your story. You can make decisions for yourself, and always having to explain to people, oh, I made this decision because I did this, because it's your life, okay? It's your story. Stop welcoming a lot of people into your decisions, into your opinions. That's gonna drive you crazy. Another thing is confidence versus approval. You have to understand that there might be instances where you might not be sure about your decisions, but just stand firm and say, this is my life, and I think this is what I want from you. And if you're not sure, that's okay. Like, I also want to make clear that there's nothing wrong with asking opinions or asking for advice, especially from your loved ones, from people you trust. But I think, again, there has to be boundaries. You have to set boundaries, because if you ask too much all the time, you're gonna end up depending too much on people's decisions and people's opinions, and then you're gonna lose yourself as well. Let me give you guys an example. So a few years ago, I wouldn't even say that like I was never a confident person. I think that I was just a little bit insecure, and especially from a young age, I grew up asking like people that I love, people that I trust a lot and look up to, for advice all the time, right? I think that the question, what should I do, can be very dangerous, because I think that it's okay to ask your loved ones, your friends, your family, like, what do you think I should do, you know? But sometimes you end up depending a lot on them, and then when you say like, what should I do, right? Even though you know what you should do, especially because, let me tell you something, most of the time when we ask someone, what do you think I should do, we know what we have to do. We just, one, hope to hear something different because we're not confident in our own decision, and two, sometimes we also look for someone to be responsible for our decisions because we are scared of the consequences of our own choices or decisions or opinions. And three, I feel like it's very easy to go to someone and be like, what do you think I should do? Like, how should I do this, you know? But I think this is your story, this is your life, you should have control over it. And so years ago, I was too dependent on my mom's and my older sister's advice, to the point where if something would happen, I would go to them and be like, what do you think I should do? Like, what should I do? And it's like, I knew what I should do, but I would always go to them, to the point where I realized that I lost myself. I was like, where's my sense of self? Like, why can't I make my own decisions? Why can't I trust my own decisions? Why do I rely too much on them? I love them and I trust their judgment so much. But what about my own? What happened to my own judgment? You know? And something that like was so hard to navigate through, because I depended too much on them. I was depending a lot on their judgment, a lot on their decisions over my life. Sometimes I would make a decision that they wouldn't agree with, and oh my gosh, that consumed me. That was taking over my life, because I'm trusting their judgment more. If I make a decision different than theirs, then that just means, oh my gosh, they're right, I'm wrong. So I have to do what they think is right, or I have to do what they think I should do, because I was depending too much on their judgment, and I completely lost my own. I felt like I had no voice in my own life, and it's not like they were doing that. It's I was the one reaching out to them all the time and being like, what should I do? Like, what do you think about this? What do you think about this? And I think that, what should I do? What do you think I should do? There's nothing wrong with sometimes asking for advice, asking for an opinion, but we have to be careful with that. I had to accept that I would have different opinions than them, or sometimes if I go and ask for advice, they would be like, we think you should do this, or I think you should do this, and I would be like, but I don't want to do that, you know? And then there's a shock, because it's like, I don't think that's right for me, or I don't want to do that. And then they're like, do that, but this is what's best for you. And I'm like, you know? So it's like, it's very hard, especially when it comes from family that you trust and love. It's very hard sometimes to understand that they know you, especially when it comes to your parents. They know you, you know, they raised you. But when you are an adult, you do have control over your life. You are capable, you are more than capable to make your own decisions. You are more than capable to decide what you want to do, where you want to go, and what you want to do in the future. So this is just a reminder that like, you are worthy, you are more than capable of making your own decisions, you are more than capable of dealing with your emotions. There's nothing wrong with needing family, friends for advice, or sometimes when we're not doing too well. There's nothing wrong with that at all. Or even going for like therapy, or ask your counselor, go to your professor's office to ask for help in life. But just don't let their judgment be over your own. Don't let their judgment, their opinions, and their decisions on what you should do take over your own. I think that's very important. Don't lose your sense of self.
A few moments later.
A lot of times our brain is really tricking us. Like, I feel like, yes, people do talk, people do stare at you, people will talk, but most of the time, the truth is, everyone is worried about their own lives. Everyone is literally obsessed with how they look as well. They're thinking about how they look in other people's eyes. They're thinking about their grades, their outfits, their life, their jobs. They're not necessarily obsessing over your life. I know sometimes they are, but this really just to say that who cares? Literally, who cares? It's your life. You have control over your life. This is your story. Do what you want to do. Be happy, be free, and don't allow people to make decisions for yourself. Don't allow people to take over your life, okay? You have the freedom to make decisions and think for yourself, and you're more than capable to do so. Also, I want to thank you guys for 1,000 subscribers. I'm so happy and I'm so excited for this journey. I'm so excited to continue to share my knowledge with you guys and give advice and help and film vlogs. I think that this is just the beginning. There's a lot more coming and I'm very excited to keep making videos. And yeah, thank you so much for watching, and don't forget to subscribe and hit the post notifications and comment down below. Let me know what videos you want to see here, and also don't forget to follow me on my socials. And yeah, happy Sunday. Bye.
Come on, baby.